Hello, Crimson. Hello. Well, today is going to be fun. We're going to be spending the majority of today's stream just hatching rockruff eggs. I did a bit of prepping before stream. I now have almost 6 boxes worth of eggs just to hatch. I think I'm desperate for this rockruff. I mean, specifically, it's the dusk form, so I have to get own tempo rockruff to do it. And I'm almost convinced it's impossible to spawn a natural one besides the Terra one. And the Lycanroc Dusk outbreaks are lies, because nothing shows up if it's not specifically the time of dusk. Nothing shows up. So they can't be here long playing RO friends. Okay. That's fine. Right, so one other thing I've sorted out, obviously Punt the Stream is back online because VTuber avatars here again. I've altered the alerts slightly so they can sort out text to speech. But I don't expect it to be used at all, so I'll have no idea if it will work or not for a while. But it's there. Alright, so let's... Okay, so here's all the eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Almost 6 boxes worth of eggs. I'd be surprised if we didn't get a shiny through all of these. Because that's a lot of eggs. That is so many eggs. Oh wait, no, before I continue with that, I'll show my updated collection. I still don't have Ditto, because that's going to be one of the last things I do, because it is so difficult to find. At least with Zorua, I could just hatch eggs for it. Ditto, you can't even do that. And there's only gaps next to some Pokemon because I'm delaying getting the Ditto hunt, so I'm just getting more forms. So the East Sea Gastrodon I'm trying to get. All of the Rotom forms, which is not difficult. Just to go sandwich in the Chargestone Cavern. And Rotom is really easy to tell. It just has the red outlines instead of the blue ones. The female Meowstic, male Pyroar, Dusk Lycanroc, Fomantis / Lurantis, what was it? I forgot what the last one was. Oh, Minior and Kamala. Those are the other two. Let me get my list out again. Alright, so I got all of the Unova Pokemon. Yeah, Lycanroc, Lurantis, Minior, Kamala, Barrascuda, Berserker, Pinkachin, and the 2 Basculegion. So I'm gonna have to prep a lot of eggs for when the Basculin hunt comes around. And family of 3 Mousehold, which I can isolate that hunt, but it's still gonna be a while. And the Squawkabilly forms. And then after that, after all of those are done, then I'll try and hunt Ditto, but I'm gonna try and get an outbreak for it. It's gonna be my final challenge for this shiny hunt, just the Ditto. Because it's so unbelievably hard to get in this game. If only it showed up as itself, maybe that would be a bit more easier to deal with. Like with Let's Go. Let's Go couldn't do it, so why can't Scarlet and Violet do it? Alrighty, so let's hatch these godly amount of eggs. And, sorry if you can hear background noises. There's a bit of drill work going on. So yesterday was definitely a lot of fun. opening those V cards was definitely it's probably gonna be a once in a lifetime experience for me. Once I've got more of an income coming in, then I'll be able to buy them more frequently. But I'm happy I was able to get a box and open them on stream with everyone. Okay, so after Dust Like and Rock is done, either I try and get everything else through an outbreak, or I just rely on eggs. Sure, it's boring and time consuming, but hey, it's efficient. I mean, I got 4 shiny Zorua from it, even if the last 2 were unintentional. But hey, at least I completed the evolutionary family. And my signal struck me again. God damn it. Why? It's only when I'm streaming. Only when I start streaming. Works completely fine before that. Wireless connection, maybe? Ah. I hate this stupid internet. Really hope we can switch Wi-Fi providers soon. Because it's getting annoying now. Like, we don't even have to do anything, it will stop working. Oh, okay, it's back for now. For now, because I don't know how long that will last. See, after I've done Dust Lycanroc, it's just Lurantis, Minior, and Kamala I think I've got to do. Now, I'm going for all the forms, but Minior, I don't count Minior. Mainly because its shiny stays the same throughout all the different forms. And honestly, what's the point? There's no point getting all 6 or 7 of the forms when they look exactly the same. I'm only going to get one of them. If it was for a living shiny dex, I would have to get all of them. But I'm not going for all of them. I only need one. Okay, that's another one done. So yeah, I did manage to finish up all the Unova Pokemon recently. Joltik was, honestly, it was surprisingly easy to tell. Like, I thought it was going to be hardly any different, based on the sprites I saw on Cerebi. But then when you see it in game, it doesn't go a slightly lighter tint of yellow. It turns a neon yellow. And that made it so obvious. I thought I was going to be struggling to find that so much, I ended up trying to find a Galvantula outbreak, and it didn't matter in the end. I found the Joltik as the shiny. And Kamala, I think with Kamala, I'm going to do an outbreak for it. Just to figure out where it spawns. I think near Artisan. I think it shows up near there. One of the east areas, I think it was. At least that one, shiny's obvious. You can tell what makes it a shiny. But, yeah. So Kamala will do outbreaks. Minior, I'll do eggs because yeah, the shiny is covered up with the core form, so I'm not going to be doing auto battle. So I'm going to hatch eggs for that one. Then getting to Galar will be fun. Barrascuda I tried to do an outbreak for, but it's too hard to tell, so I'm just going to hatch that one through eggs. Berserker I have to hatch it through eggs, because there's no other way to do that one. Then a female Indeedee, which I should be able to pull off. I'm going to use a Psychic Sandwich in the Timeless Wood, so I should be able to get that. Probably get a few duplicates along the way, but I should be able to get the female Indeedee pretty quickly. And Basque Legion, both the genders have different forms, so I need to get both of them. And it's much easier to do it through eggs in this game. Because their spawn area is just a tiny little pond, and outbreaks don't exactly help. Especially on Switch 2, outbreaks seem to have been slightly nerfed in some areas. Yeah, I'm getting close to finishing this challenge I've given myself. And hopefully I can get it done within the next month. But fingers crossed. Because I want to get it completely done by the time Legend ZA releases. Heck, maybe I'll even get bonus shinies to transfer in there. Yeah, but then again, there's no fun transferring shiny from a different game. I'd rather just get the shinies within ZA+. I don't think I'd even be able to, because with Pokemon's track record, Pokemon Home never has compatibility day one with the new games. Like, never. I mean, it's dumb. It takes them almost half a year just to get the compatibility working. Like, why not just get it sorted out before the game releases? All they'd have to do then was flick a switch to allow it to work publicly. Like, have the update prepared beforehand and then checkmark to be able to activate everything on everyone's views. Oh, I also saw the Mega Halucha reveal earlier today. And it looks epic. Honestly, I think it's the best new Mega so far. I don't know whether it means I'll have Halucha on my team or not, but it's definitely going to be a good contender. Of all the new Megas so far, which are 3, definitely my favourite. I mean, Dragonite's okay. Its shiny will determine whether I actually have it on my team or not. And Victory Bell, I mean, Victory Bell gets some love, but I didn't really care about Victory Bell, so that's not going to go on my team. If I'm going to have a grass type on my team, I'm probably going to have Chestnut. If it's going to work like Legends Arceus did, we should be able to get all the Kalos starters in the wild. So my grass type will probably be Chestnut or something else that's actually good. Because the Kalos starters are probably going to have. I mean, we just barely got our first non-legendary Gen 6 Mega. Because for some reason Diancie was the only one allowed to get one. They chose one of the best ones. I don't know what other grass types will really show. I know Simisage will show up. I mean, that's cool for the home decks, but... Well, I'm probably going to shiny them all. Because I might as well start my shiny challenge for Z8 as soon as I can start playing the game. Or maybe as soon as I finish the main story. I mean, I'm probably gonna try and get some shinies on my main party. Because if shiny hunting is gonna be similar to what it was like in Legends Arceus, I'm most likely gonna try and have some shinies on my team. And since I'm probably gonna ditch the main starter, I'm probably gonna have a full shiny team. Like, I've never done that before. I've never done a full shiny team as a first playthrough of any Pokemon game. Maybe occasionally there'll be one shiny. Like, obviously with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, I've had shinies in my first playthrough teams before. And BDSP, surprisingly. Like, Shining Pearl, I had a shiny Dustox throughout my playthrough team. But I have never done a full shiny playthrough on my first game. Oh, yeah. I have completed a game with only shinies, but that was nowhere near my first playthrough. So hopefully it'll be good. Once I know all the Pokemon that are going to be in the game, I'll use that to plan my team out. Well, I think at the very least, I'll just plan out like the main typings. So obviously I need the elemental trio, so grass, fire, water. Maybe an electric type? Maybe not an electric type. Definitely a ground type, because ground is the best type. It's impossible to change my mind on that. Probably a flying type. Because flying type is very good in most regional playthroughs. Possibly a dragon? I mean, with how many dragon types are in Kalos, having a dragon type would be a really good contender. I mean, I think since we're doing Kalos, I think I need to have a fairy. It'd be wrong to not have a fairy type in a Kalos playthrough. I'm not going to do any of the previous generation ones, unless they get a new Mega. So I'm not going to use a Mega God of War on my team, because to me that's a bit generic. I want to use new stuff. And one thing I need to do, I want to see if I can do some art pieces, like shiny predictions. Dragonite's probably going to be the toughest one to guess what the Mega Shiny will be. Either they could do the Garchomp route and make it an actual good shiny compared to the previous form, or they'll just follow the patterns of the old shinies. I think people would prefer it if it was blue or pink, not green. So yeah, those are the three possible shiny colors it could get. Blue like the Dragonite, blue like Dratini and Dragonair, green like Dragonite, or pink like shiny Dratini and shiny Dragonair. It could be one of those three colors. Victory Bell, there's not that much difference to regular Victory Bell to begin with. Most just the leaves change a different color. But then for Hawlucha, it gets a black and purple color scheme. I think the new mask and cape part, I think those bits will stay the exact same, but the Hawlucha's normal body will just change color. I think that's going to be the easiest one to guess. It's just going to look like regular shiny Hawlucha colors, with the new parts looking the same. Yes. Let me just check something really quick. Okay. Right. So yeah, I still need to do the planning of my team. I mean, if I really want to, I could, in theory, just have all three Kalos starters. But I feel like that'd be a bit boring, so at the very least, I'm gonna have Greninja on my team. Maybe Chestnut? But if I can find a better grass type, then I'll go for that instead. And I'm probably just gonna base my predictions team based on the Mega Leaks and based on the X and Y original Pokédex. That's what I'm gonna plan my team on. Just the new Megas and the original Dex. Because I'm pretty sure every Pokemon, minus a couple, will be in that dex. I get the feeling Ditto's not going to be a thing, since Legends Arceus didn't have any breeding, but then again, Pokemon breeding was probably not even a concept in that time period, so it made sense. But I don't think it will be a thing in this game. So for ground types, I think my ground type will probably be a Mega Pokemon. Again, I think my whole team is probably just going to focus around Mega Evolution, since Mega Evolution is going to work differently in Legends ZA compared to all the games. Originally, it was just only one Pokemon could Mega Evolve per battle, but now it seems like we can gather Mega Energy and have multiple Mega Evolutions in a single fight. So the whole team will be able to Mega Evolve in a single fight, which I can't wait for. So I think, yeah, I'm also probably going to have to plan out separate teams, because if Swampert is available in the main story, then he'll be my water type, and Chestnut would probably be the grass type. I could probably plan out a Delphox team, but I don't think I'm going to need to. Because, yeah, Delphox is my least favourite of the Hollow starters, just because I have basically no love for it. Greninja is obviously the best one, and Chestnut I gained respect for it through my X and Y no catching challenge, and that was my starter of choice, because based on other gifts, Chestnut would be the best one, because there were no other decent water or fire types. Well, grass and fire types. Lapras was a gift Pokemon, so that was obviously an obvious choice. And the best starter combo with Chestnut was Charizard. So that was already my main trio. Then obviously Aerodactyl and Tyrantrum were definitely thrown in there. Trying to remember who my other ones were. Oh wait, probably the Lucario. Yeah, the Lucario is probably on that team. That's probably one of the best gift Pokemon in the series. Just as a Lucario to start with, and the fact it can Mega Evolve as soon as you get it. Just kind of hope they do things a bit differently in ZA, like something like a different way to get the Megas. I mean, yeah, those Mega raids, like the Rogue Megas, it seems like that's how we're going to get the stones. And honestly, I'm fine with that. It's better than doing a just random treasure hunt or just buying the stones. Like, we're actually looking for the stones, and there's probably going to be nearly 100 Megas in this game. There's already 48 to begin with. Well, around 40. And now we're probably going to get double. Obviously, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming for today. At the very least, I'll probably keep going until I finish off hatching all these eggs. Because I think I spent about an hour and a half just collecting them. So it's normally like roughly 60 eggs per sandwich. So I think I got about 180 eggs. Almost 180. maybe just a little bit less, so maybe 174? But still, that's a lot of eggs to do in a single batch. And I need to pee. Oh, I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, that took a bit too long, or ended up coming out. Oh, dear. Right, let's go back to these eggs then, shall we? Hope anything happened while I was gone. Right, so fingers crossed we can get a shiny Rockruff in this huge batch of eggs. And if I can get it, great! I'll have finished off the Lycanroc family because I already have another shiny Rockruff. And as a bonus, I would not be surprised if there was another one in here that would complete the living family. Because the Own Tempo Rockruff technically counts as a different form from the regular Rockruff. Once this next egg starts hatching, just check something quickly. Hold on a sec. Just want to have a look at something. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, at the very least, I think this stream will probably finish up once I've finished hatching all of these eggs. I think that will be the stopping point. I could probably get through maybe almost 2 hours with that. Okay. So when it comes to Minior, I actually have no idea how it works with breeding. I don't think I've really seen anyone breed a Minior. Does it just breed that specific core form? Or does it just randomize between all of them? I'd assume it just bases the eggs off the specific form that's being bred. I mean, heck, I don't even know if it's even able to breed. Okay. Oh yeah, I've also got all these Rockruff and a Dive Ball, so matching color scheme, which I don't often care about, but it's nice to have it. One thing I'm curious about in Legend CE, how are the Vivian patterns gonna look? Like, is it just gonna be the pink pattern? I think it's the meadow pattern, I think it was called. Is it just gonna be the meadow pattern, or are they gonna figure out a way to incorporate every single version in there? Because I don't think they would do what they did with X and Y, because it's complicated. They don't even have to worry about the fancy pattern, because Scarlet and Violet's here. But maybe they could figure out a way to control what versions of Vivian show up. Because if that's the case, Pokemon Go will be useless. I'm just gonna say that. Because the postcard system, honestly, I hated it. Because it was complicated, and then when you did use the postcard, you could never use that specific one again. Like, ever. Made the collecting a bit more tedious. By tedious, I mean stupidly annoying and no one should ever do it. It's easier just to do the 3 postcards, get the form you need in Pokemon Go, and then just transfer it to home. It's easier just to do that. And if for some reason there is a way to get specific forms in ZA, I'll be really grateful for that. And hopefully, Pokemon Company had a way to get Meltan and Melmetal in the mainline games. I mean, they technically have one for Meltan, complete the Let's Go Home Dex, but there's no way to evolve it in the mainline games yet. So I think Meltan and Melmetal need to be available in the mainline game, like any of the mainline games, so Pokemon Home to Pokemon Go compatibility is no longer required to get specific Pokemon. Because at the moment, it's dumb. It's requiring Pokemon Go for certain forms. Like shiny roaming form Gimmighoul. For some reason, that's exclusive to Go. Same for Meltan and Melmetal. They're exclusive to Go. Oh, I guess technically only Melmetal is exclusive to Go. Maybe? I mean, maybe the Gigantamax... If the Gigantamax Melmetal is infinite use, like, there's no time limit to it, as long as you claim it, you're good. Maybe it is possible just to get Meltan and Melmetal outside of Go. Meltan for the Let's Go reward, and a Melmetal for Sword and Shield reward. I don't remember how to get that Melmetal, though. Let me have a look. Let me see if Cerebee's got it listed down. Let's have a look then, shall we? So there's Shiny Keldeo, Shiny Meltan, Shiny Enamorus in the incarnate form, Shiny Manaphy, Shiny Meloetta, starters, Gmax, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. Okay, so that was a version. That's an update gift. Gmax Melmetal. Oh. Okay, no. I just checked. So the Gmax Melmetal gift, you still need Pokemon Go for it. You send one Pokemon from Go to home, and you get that mystery gift. But that means you still need Pokemon Go to get Melmetal. So at the moment, without Pokemon Go, it's impossible to get Melmetal in the mainline games. Like, completely impossible. Which is just annoying. Because some people don't want to play Pokemon Go, or don't play it anymore, and they won't be able to complete their Pokédex without certain Pokemon. Or if they're a shiny collector, they'll be forced to use Pokemon Go to get certain shinies. Which, fortunately, they are at the moment, because Pokemon Company likes to keep shiny locking everything. They need to stop doing that. They need to stop shiny locking all of the Pokemon people want to hunt for. That is the one thing I hated from Gen 5, and that's shiny locks. They should never have made that a thing, and just allow people to hunt whatever they want. I mean, sure, it limits events, but it doesn't matter if they never create the events to begin with. Because there are still some shinies from older generations that still don't have a shiny. Victini doesn't have a shiny. It's the only shiny in Gen 5 that is still locked. Everything else is available. Generation 6, Volcanion and Hooper are still shiny locked. Diancie was given out during one event and then never again, so it's essentially shiny locked. Gen 7, the majority of the mythicals and some legendaries are shiny locked. Although with Solgaleo, Lunala, and Necrozma, you can get them in Sword and Shield, so that's a bit of a different story. Zygarde you can get in Sword and Shield as well. Poipo and Naganal, you could always hunt them. Cosmog and Cosmoem, those are shiny locked for some stupid reason. You could get Solgaleo and Lunala in Sword and Shield. You could get Cosmog as well, but for some reason the Cosmog was shiny locked, which... why? The option was there. Static shinies was still a thing. Gift shinies I'm pretty sure were still a thing as well. Right, no, they definitely were still a thing. The fossil Pokemon, that's how you hunted them, through gifts. I just hope one day they'll learn from all this and just stop doing shiny locks for no reason. Like, even the starters at the beginning of the game, they've started shiny locking. Like, Sword and Shield was a starter of... I mean, technically Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee started it. But in that case, it didn't really matter as much because it was Pikachu and Eevee, you could still hunt them. You could still get those ones in the wild, so technically they weren't shiny locked, it was just that specific form. But Sword and Shield started a bad trend of shiny locking the starters, and no one liked it. I can't think of a single person who liked shiny locks. Yeah, the Galar starters were forcibly encountered through eggs. Thankfully, Paldea, you can hunt them in the wild. About every single starter from generations 1 to 8 you can hunt in the wild. But the Paldea starters were still locked at eggs, which was dumb. Because it's always nice to start a playthrough with a shiny starter. And BDSP was kind of proof of that, because you could shiny hunt the starters in that game. Although it took forever, because it wasn't Platinum cutscene level, it was Diamond and Pearl cutscene level, but that's just another thing wrong with BDSP. At least there are some good things that came out of BDSP, but they could have been... the rest of the game could have been done so much better. It's taken almost an hour just for one box. Although I guess part of the way I did have to take a break, but... oh, I don't think I'll... actually, I don't think I'll be able to get through all the eggs. Because I normally like to go for about 2 hours, stream-wise. I don't even think I'll be able to hatch all these eggs. I think I might have made too many. I just hope I can get one hatched. One thing I'm thinking of doing one day, I'm thinking I might want to do this on stream. I think I want to do a Pokemon Fire Red Professor Oak's challenge. That's one of the few games I've not done a challenge for. I mean, I've done a Nuzlocke in Leaf Green. but I didn't do Professor Oak's challenge in Fire Red Leaf Green yet. I did one in Ruby. That was my first one. I refuse to do the Sinnoh games because I'm not doing those honey trees. Legends Arceus is possible. It's just really difficult. I don't really want to go through all that again. Sword and Shield, no. Just no. Just no. Black and White, technically I've already done that, but White version's taking forever. I've still not gotten back to it. I still don't think it's technically a completed hunt. I should have done Black version, because I wouldn't have had to worry about the White Forest, only worry about swarms. So at least with the swarms, it would have just been time consuming. But the White Forest, there's a lot more technicality to it, so maybe I'll do the challenge again, but in Black and White 2? Possibly? And maybe just as a bonus, maybe I'll do the... No, I'm not going to do living. Because I'd have to do White 2, mainly because I'm not restarting Black 2. But I think with Black and White 2, I think I'm just gonna catch a lot of Pokemon within White 2. Just so I can trade over every single Pokemon from Black 2. And then I can have a completed Living National Dex. Or, yeah, just completed National Dex within White 2, and then I can Shiny Hunt some of the Legendaries with the Shiny Charm. So, Swords of Justice, Kyurem, and some of the previous generation Legendaries, which I could probably still do in Black 2, actually. Because there are a few Black 2 exclusives, so I could probably do those first. Like, before I start the Shiny Hunting, but after I've done the transferring over. Because there's no middle game to send the Pokemon in. I have to do it through individual trades. And it's 649 Pokemon, so take that times 2. I think that's 1,538? 1,538? That's how many trades I would have to do just to be able to successfully send over my Living National Dex to White 2, and then send it all back. And that's not even counting how long it would take. So each trade probably takes like maybe 30 seconds. So a full minute to send one Pokemon there and back. So that is a lot of time dedicated to just trading between two Pokemon games. But if I've got some free time after this is done, maybe I'll consider it. And then possibly, just maybe, I'll take advantage of doing the hand cam stuff and use that to hunt down the new games, since I don't have a capture card. I mean, maybe I can just try and find a way to get a capture card or something. But I think my first like proper retro gameplay will almost definitely be Fire Red, just like with an analog pocket. I'll just do an analog pocket, because now I know there's a seller that does like third-party stuff, CEX, a British entertainer. So I don't like to use the term British anymore, but one that's in the UK. I saw her selling. One of them's got an analog pocket. If I can save up for it, then maybe I could snag it. And then I could do a Fire Red Professor Oak's challenge on stream. Like, that I'd love to do. And then any Pokemon from Leaf Green, I can just trade over if I really want to have a true completed Pokédex. But then obviously there's the National Dex being involved, and that would probably require me to complete Sapphire and Emerald again, just to get those exclusives. But one thing I truly want to do, I want to have a completed Gen 3 Pokédex, like a National Dex, Not living, because there's not enough space in the Pokédex for that. Or not enough space in the boxes for all of that. So I think all I need to do is Colosseum exclusives. So every Pokemon that's exclusive to Colosseum, I'd have to do that. Then figure out a way to get e-cards, like e-reader cards working. Just so I can get the remaining, I think it was Deoxys and Celebi. Either that or I use like complicated hardware, Japanese bonus discs to get Celebi, Pokemon Channel to get Jirachi. Deoxys I don't know how to do that one, and Mew. Deoxys and Mew I think I would need to figure something else to do that one. I need to get an English e-reader, because I only have a Japanese e-reader, and yeah, I do have a Japanese Ruby and Sapphire, but I don't have a way to print off any cards for them. So that's another thing, I need to create some custom e-reader cards. And I'd much rather do the English ones, because there's more codes available for the English ones. Hopefully, one day I can get all of that done. And if I am gonna get them, maybe I'll shiny hunt them? I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure Deoxys... I think it's a fire breed thing, so I could technically get two of them. One of them just a normal one, and another one could be the shiny one. It's like a long time, because... Wait, actually no, it wouldn't take that long, because I have RNG manipulation on my side, so I could probably just get it in like 10 minutes. Because Gen 3 is the only sets of games I've actually done RNG manipulation for. I've been trying to do it for Gen 4 to be able to do not shiny charm, the cute charm glitch, but I've still not pulled it off yet because it's very specific with the DS. I mean, I could try and pull it off another time, go through Diamond and Pearl with endless shinies. I think I was planning to do Pearl version, so not every Pokemon would be possible. But hopefully, if I ever have the urge to go back and try it again, I'll try and get the Q-Charm glitch activated. So I already have some Jigglypuff prepared from Heart Gold. I just have to trade them over. I think I'll have to start the process all over again because I lost the information I prepared. But once I've gotten all the new information prepared, I can just do the RNG, hopefully get the right trainer ID, and have a cute charm save file. So I could use that to try and get every possible shiny, and then maybe do the same thing for Diamond, so I can get the Diamond exclusives. So obviously it only involves wild Pokemon. I have to try and pull it off with Platinum as well, but I don't really want to reset my Platinum save file. I think with my Platinum save file, I think I want to shiny hunt Darkrai first. And then after I get Darkrai, maybe consider resetting the save file, starting new. Because the only thing that will get me to play Diamond and Pearl again will be to set them up with the cute charm glitch. I mean, obviously that would mean that shinies through Gen 4 would be very not valuable. I mean, maybe I could use that to take advantage of, what was it? The trees. I think I had my Jigglypuff to be set as a male, so male Pokemon are more likely to show up. So that would mean Vespa-Queen would actually be possible. Not that I'd use it, but I'd have it. Okay, so things I've got planned for future streams. Saturday, gonna be continuing Pokemon Legends Arceus with Atreus. That's really all I can think of for a while. Like, I know Hollow Knight Silksong is releasing soon. I don't know if I'm gonna get it day one. Probably not, because I know nothing about the Hollow Knight series. But maybe one day I'll get it. Do like a Hollow Knight. Maybe I need to return to the Shantae games. I've not done much progress at all since I finished the last session of Shantae. And since then another game has come out. But more like a retro game re-uploaded. Like, it's cool when you get to see older stuff just have a new chance to shine. It was an older Game Boy Advance Shantae game. And it was a lost game, and they just revived it. So maybe, just maybe, I'll get it eventually, because it's it's the most expensive out of all of them, minus the Switch titles. It's just one of the most expensive ones. Even on sale, which it started on, it was like £30, which is probably nearly $40, maybe? Maybe $35, so I don't know. Still pricey. And since it released on the Game Boy Advance, I assume it probably be played in that order. I also don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow. Maybe I'll see if Celestic wants to do another session tomorrow. I don't know how his Wi-Fi is doing. Yeah, I really don't know what to do right now. I mean, once Legends ZA comes out, I'm going to be streaming that a lot. Like, I wouldn't even have time for any other games. I will be grinding the heck out of that game. I'll probably spend a long time just playing the game. But I'm not going to have my entire playthrough on stream. Nah. I'll probably have some of my playthrough on stream, and then a lot of it I'll do in my own time. Alright, there we go. 1, 2, 3... Wait! Oh crap, we're already 3 boxes in? Damn! That didn't take long. It took an hour to get through 3 boxes. So maybe I will be able to get through all 6 boxes in just 2 hours then. Here's hoping. Okay. Yes, I think partway through this, I'm probably gonna try and do some team predictions. I mean, maybe not partway through this stream, but at some point, maybe that can be a stream topic, doing my team predictions for Legends EA. Because I'm probably gonna have 2 possible teams, maybe 3 or 4 possible teams. And obviously, I'm not expecting any new Pokemon whatsoever. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like Legends Legends Arceus, where they introduced some ancient Pokemon. And I don't think there's going to be any regional forms either. I think the new forms are strictly going to be Mega Evolutions. So I don't have to worry about that when predicting my team. Just get the XY regional decks, get the leak of new Megas, slap them all together, and there's my predictions. And obviously I really hope Swampert will be usable. Because it can Mega Evolve, so why not? I mean, the only Megas I don't expect to show up would be the legendary ones. So Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, Mega Mewtwo, I mean, Deontay's probably going to show up because it's a Gen 6 Pokemon. But Mega Rayquaza, Mega Latios, Latias. I mean, maybe Mega Mewtwo because Mewtwo was in the XY regional decks. So Mewtwo has a possibility. Just because it was an XY. But the ones from Auras, less likely. Just because they wouldn't have a reason to show up in Kalos. I mean, not that it wouldn't really affect my team anyway. Besides, if people really want to see them again, Pokemon Champions exist. That's what people are probably going to use with them anyway. They're not going to use them in a playthrough. Makes more sense just to have them in Champions. Yeah, the power dynamic is going to be out of control in Champions. Having every single game mechanic, Mega Revolution, Z-moves, Dynamax, and Terrestrialization. I'm hoping that the way it will work, you could only use one mechanic at a time. Or, at the very least, one mechanic per Pokemon. Because I don't think people would be able to deal with every single mechanic on a single Pokemon, because that'd be unbelievably broken. So a Mega that Dynamaxes, Terrestrializes, and uses a Z-move at the same time. That would be unbelievably broken. I don't think it would ever happen. I mean, the last time there was a chance for two mechanic items to happen at the same time, it didn't work because Rayquaza prioritizes the Z-move, then Mega Evolves. So it's never been possible to do a Mega Z-move, even with Rayquaza. So I feel like that's how it would kind of work. You just won't be able to stack them. So if people are going to use them, they just simply would only have specific ones. So maybe one Dynamax and one Mega Revolution. But honestly, I don't know how I would do things. Obviously, I'd want to have a Mega Swap. So I'd probably have a lot of rain teams. But at the same time, I want to have Mamoswine, because what if new ribbons can be obtained in Champions? That means I would need my Ribbon Master to go through them. So I'd have to prepare probably a set team. I still need to prepare a competitive team for Mamoswine in general. That's the only ribbon I don't have yet. Once I can get it out of the way, I'll be good. But yeah, I need to build a team and then try and do competitive with it. And obviously Mamoswine is going to be a focus. I mean, last time I made it a decent amount. But this time I want to try a different team. Right, obviously I don't want to use every single top tier Pokemon. I want to have my own thing going. Because obviously no one's going to use Mamoswine. But I want to use Mamoswine because that's my Ribbon Master. I need Mamoswine. So I just need to build a team that works around it. Yeah, I think one challenge run I'll probably do eventually in Legends EA would be a ground mono type run. So only ground types will be allowed to be used. I can already think of a couple of Pokemon. So hopefully if Swampert gets its time to shine in ZA, just so I can use this Mega Evolution again, yes, that'll be the ace. Steelix will probably be on there, maybe Camerupt, since they're ground type Megas. I don't think there's a fire type Mega. Well, a fire ground. There's, no, there is. There's Camerupt. A grass ground. If for some reason we get a grass ground type Mega Evolution, that'll go on the team. But unless it ends up showing up, there probably won't be a grass type on my team at all. So I don't think there are any grass ground types that can Mega Evolve. And Torterra is basically the only grass ground type I can think of. And from what it seems like, it looks like maybe every other week or every week we're probably going to get a new Mega Evolution until Legends EA goes live. Which is cool, because each different reveal for a new Mega has been different. Dragonite had technically 2 reveals. It had the gameplay reveal trailer, which introduced Mega Dragonite, and then it had its debut in the anime, which I feel like the anime should have done it first. And then Victory Bell had like a horror-themed trailer. And then Mega Harlucha had a wrestling theme. So hopefully, maybe the next one could be something grass-related. I mean, we already had something grass-related. Fire-related, maybe. I mean, I don't even know if we're even going to get any new Mega Fire types. I mean, maybe Pyroar could be an option? Just basing things off Palos Pokemon? I mean, obviously Delphox. Delphox is pretty much almost guaranteed. And probably Emboar as well. Both sets of starters probably get Megas. I just hope things work out. Oh, even better. A hiking team going to find a new ground type Mega. Or a mining team. Honestly, I'd love to see that. Some people doing some explorations at a cave, and then they discover a new Mega Evolution. Like, I'd love to see that for another one. When I think of ground Pokemon I want to become Megas, Crocodile is one of the first things that comes to my mind. What? Crocodile's good enough on its own. I don't think it doesn't need a Mega. It's strong enough as is. It can handle just fine without one. Garchomp already has a Mega, Camerupt has one, Swampert has one. Honestly, I'd love to see every single starter get a Mega Evolution, but I feel like it's not going to happen. I mean, honestly, I just hope Mega Evolution just stays in the series from now on, because it went absent for 8 years? No, not 8 years. It was last around in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I'm not counting Pokemon Go because that's not mainline. Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was 2018. So 1, 2, about 7 years. So yeah, Megas have been absent from the series for about 7 years. But the mainline part of the series. They've still shown up in spin-offs, but for mainline games it's been 7 years since we last had Megas. And I'll still say it, I think Mega Evolution is always, and always has been, the best game mechanic in Pokemon. I mean, sure, not every Pokemon needs a Mega, but it gives some Pokemon a chance to shine. Like, take Beedrill, for example. That Pokemon's useless. Give it a Mega, it stands a chance. And it did. I just don't think the overpowered Pokemon need all the Megas. Lucia, pretty good Pokemon, but it's not overpowered, so giving it a Mega gives it that extra push. Victory Bell definitely needed a Mega. Dragonite did not need it, but it got it anyway. Can't really think of other Pokemon that I personally want to see with Megas. I haven't already got them or don't need them. Obviously, I just want to see more starters with Mega Evolutions. It's the first partner Pokemon, and having a strong bond with the Pokemon that you started your journey with just makes sense. And then Mega Evolutions based on bonds with the Mons. So it's weird that not every Pokemon that is a starter has a Mega. So far, just the Kanto Pokemon and the Hoenn Pokemon. Those are the only ones that have Megas, starters-wise. Maybe the Kalos Mons and the ZA Mons will get their Megas as well. But honestly, if Meganium, Feraligatr, and Emboar get Megas, I feel like the other 3, or other 4, 5, however many there are, but the other ones need Megas too. So Mega Typhlosion I think needs to happen. Same for Serperior and Samurott. Even though they have Hisuian forms or alternate forms that just make them better in general, I think they still all need them to have completed trios. So either you take the path of a Hisuian form, or you take the path of a Mega Evolution. I mean, that's how it can work for Typhlosion and Samurott. And then for Serperior, it just needs a Mega in general. Like, making it a Steel type would probably make it so much better. And honestly, I feel like its ability... I think at the very least... Yeah, I think its ability should, when Mega Evolving, it should just become contrary. Like Blaziken, its hidden ability is Speed Boost, and then when it Mega Evolves, it stays a Speed Boost. I think Serperior should do a similar thing, if it ever gets a Mega. So make it a Steel type, keep it with the contrary ability, and then it can take advantage of all the moves. It can now take advantage of maybe Flash Cannon. But just giving it the Steel type makes it so much better. I think it has a similar amount of weaknesses. Fire, Flame, Ice... actually, I think it's got slightly less weaknesses. Lost an immunity, which used to be a weakness. Move! Yeah, so Poison would be immune. Water would still... Oh, I don't know why I'm thinking of water. Fire would be stronger against it. But that's one of its only main weaknesses. No longer weak to flying, no longer weak to ice. But it is weak to fighting. So its weaknesses are swapped out for something else. And one of them isn't even a weakness anymore. And then it gains an immunity if it became a Steel type. I think Serperior could use that. Like, that would just benefit Serperior so much. And for its attacking moves, obviously Flash Cannon's probably one of the best ones. Steel Beam, probably not so. Just because even if it misses, you still take heavy chunks of damage. Wait, honestly, I think, is Flash Cannon one of the only special Steel moves? I think it might be. Oh, that's gonna get me confused now. I need to have a look. Pokemon database. Steel type. No, not the Pokemon. The attacks. There's Doom Desire, but that's a signature move. Flash Cannon. Make it rain, but that's also a signature move. Okay, there is Mirror Shot, but that's not exactly a good move. Steel Beam, again. Tachyon Counter. Oh, yeah, so Steel types don't really get that much. Oh, Jackie, hello! Hello! I'm doing good, how are you? Sorry, I didn't see the messages for a second. I was literally just checking up on, like, special steel moves. And there's, like, only two that are not signature moves. So Flash Cannon and Mirror Shot are basically the only non-signature special steel moves. Because I'm thinking of how a Mega Superior could work. Like, if it got a Mega in the future, I would think it should become a Steel type. Like, defensively, it's better. There's less weaknesses and it gains immunity. And I think it should keep Contrary. And obviously, Flash Cannon's definitely going to be its best steel move. Flash Cannon, Leaf Storm. That's instantly a good set of moves. Then, I guess throw in Dragon Pulse, since Superior can already learn Dragon Pulse. And then maybe a move that can boost its stats. I mean, I guess it has Coil. I don't know if that works specially, though. But yeah, right now I'm hatching Rockruff eggs. But these Rockruff have the ability to own tempo, so when they evolve, they become the Dusk form Lycanroc. And in total, I've got almost 6 boxes worth of eggs, and I'm about halfway through with the hatching process. And then, obviously, once I've hatched all the eggs, then that'll be it for the stream, but I don't know how long that will take. I'm thinking it might just take up my average of 2 hours. That's normally the time I like to aim for. Hopefully I can get it, because I don't know if it's even possible to get Own Tempo Rockruff in an outbreak. And the Dusk Lycanroc outbreaks are scams because they're time sensitive. So you can only hunt them during dusk. If you're not during the dusk time, nothing will show up. So there's basically no point to those outbreaks. You know, I don't want to set up a picnic. And yeah, since I have no idea if it's even possible to get Own Tempo in the wild besides the Terra Pokemon, I'm having to do eggs. Hey. But yeah, I was thinking of like predictions for what my Legend ZA team will be, and normally in every single playthrough I do, I always keep my starter. But honestly, I think Legend ZA is probably going to be the first game I ditch the starter. Like, I genuinely think I'm not going to have any of the starters on my team. Like, the new trio of starters, because if I'm being completely honest, Totodile is my favourite out of the 3, but I only like to use Totodile in a Johto playthrough. More specifically a Gen 4 Johto playthrough, but still. I only care about Feraligatr if I'm in Johto. I don't care for it outside of Johto, if I'm being completely honest. And I hate Emboar with a passion. It's the worst, one of the worst starters in existence. I can't change my mind, I hate it. And Meganium, I don't care for it. I only use it in Colosseum because it's the only good grass type. But I don't care about Meganium. So this new trio of starters, I'm probably going to ignore. Tepig is... I mean, yeah, Tepig's cute. And its arc in the anime was interesting, I guess. But that's about it. I don't like its evolutions. I've only used Embor once. And that's about it. During my first Black 2 playthrough I used Embor. But Superior and Samurott are way better. Embor just sucks. Sure, it's good for its playthrough throughout Unova, but I could just work around that with different Pokemon. So yeah. The new ZA starters, I'm probably not going to keep. I'll just have them in the boxes. Maybe I'll evolve them just for the Dex entries. But if we're going on things based on Legends Arceus, compared to ZA, I think we'll be able to find the Kalos starters in the wild. Since in Legends Arceus, we were able to find the Sinnoh starters in the wild. So I don't see why that would be any different. And obviously if we can do that, then either Froakie or Chespin will go on my team. Don't care much for Delphox. I also hope the Hoenn starters show up because I want Mudkip on my team. If the Hoenn starters are usable in the main story, Mudkip will be my choice, and I'll probably have Chespin on the side. I think that's a good combination. So yeah, like the order of my team is going to be Water, Grass, Fire, and it's going to be a Ground type and a Flying type. I don't know who the last Pokemon would be though. Oh no, it'd probably be a Fairy type, because it's Kalos. You need to have a Fairy type on your team. Kalos is where the Fairy type was born. So I have like a main outline for what my team will be. I'll probably have a couple of different versions based on what starters I'll be getting. So obviously, I'm ditching the ZA starters, having the Kalos starters on my team 100%. But if the Hoenn starters are going to be available, then I want to take advantage of that. And there's a chance I might have Hawlucha on my team. Because that's one of the more interesting flying types for Kalos. I was considering it before its Mega got revealed, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, obviously, my team's probably just going to focus on new Megas. Obviously, except if Mudkip gets added in the game, then that would be the exception. But I do want to try and focus on Pokemon that get new Mega Evolutions. Or at the very least, half of them be new Megas, and then it's just be returning Megas. Because how the Mega Evolution mechanics are going to work in this game, it's not going to be one Mega Evolution per battle. It's just going to be a recharge system. So you can have multiple Mega Evolutions in a single match, so theoretically, you could have your whole team be able to Mega Evolve in a single fight. And depending on how long the fight takes, you'd probably do more than 6 separate Mega Evolutions if you really could. But yeah, Embor for Alligator and Meganium. Second thoughts. Maybe I'll just try and shiny hunt them later on, because I'm going to do a shiny challenge in that game as well, like I did for Scarlet Violet. Because hopefully I can complete the Scarlet and Violet Shiny Hunt challenge before ZA comes out. Then I'll do another one with ZA. I tried doing it with Legends Arceus, but then the Daybreak update kind of ruined my momentum and I just stopped. Since they killed how mass outbreaks work in that game. or because they wanted to bring in the massive mass outbreaks, but it's too inconsistent for me. But the way I liked to do it in the older versions of Arceus. Get the outbreak, save the outbreak, and then keep resetting the outbreak until the shiny pops up. That's how I liked it. But now, there's no difference. It's the same outbreak every single time. And massive mass outbreaks are too inconsistent. So, shiny hunting in Legends Arceus just wasn't fun anymore. So hopefully Legends ZA can fix that issue. Because I would not be surprised if mass outbreaks returned, because it feels like it's just a staple now. We have raid dens and mass outbreaks. All started with Sword and Shield with the raid dens, and then Legends Arceus with the outbreaks. I mean, yeah, we've had swarms in the past, but swarms have always been like daily things. Outbreaks can just happen whenever. So hopefully outbreaks do return in ZA and they don't get broken like they did in Arceus. But yeah, our raid dens are just the mega bosses, the rogue megas. I'm pretty sure those are meant to represent raid dens in this game. And Alpha Pokemon return, so maybe getting a shiny Mega Alpha Pokemon would be an interesting hunt. Maybe I'll see if I can like try and record my data, see how far I can go. I think I'm probably gonna do it anyway, but maybe I'll see. I don't know. I mean, my guess, the game's probably gonna leak out, like right before the game comes out, because it's releasing on Switch 1 as well as Switch 2. So that's definitely gonna be interesting. Oh, hello, Nobara! Hello! See, I would not be surprised if the Pokédex ended up leaking online, like right next to the game's release date. But somehow I doubt it, because Nintendo Ninjas are way more active than they used to be. But either way, I'm probably still gonna go in with a pre-planned team. Okay, so 3 more of these eggs, and we move on to the next set. So after I've gotten Duskfly up, I'm probably gonna go for Minior. Either Minior or Kamala. Kamala I'm doing through outbreaks, and Minior I'll do through eggs, because hunting it in the wild is a pain. I don't like to use auto battle at all for shiny hunting, because it just takes too long. If it's just knocking out 60 for the mass outbreak, that's a different story. But looking for a specific Pokemon, and then using the using the auto battle just to see if the Pokemon attacks it or not, it's just too slow for me. And unfortunately, Minior only shows up in the wild in its its shelled cased form. It's Meteor form, that's what it's called. Meteor form. It never shows up in its core form. So yeah, because of that, I'm probably just going to hunt it through eggs. I really should have tried to get it before the Switch 2 edition came out, or the Switch 2 update. Because back then there was a limit to how many Pokemon could spawn at once, and that was normally the best way to look for the vague shinies. But I was too late. In fact, I barely had any of this challenge done until the Switch 2 version came out. By then, I think I barely had anything done. I didn't even have all the starters yet. And since the Switch 2 came out, I shiny hunted Dunsparce. The first time I tried to hunt a Dunsparce to try and get the 3 segment. First one I evolved was the 3 segment. So that was where I started with this momentum. I've been going ever since. Zoroark was a slight slowdown because I had to get 2 shiny Zoroark, one for the Unovan form and one for the Hisuian form. I got both of them, and then got a second one of both of them when I was hatching leftover eggs. So technically I have the entire evolutionary family in shiny form. I just hope if Zoroark or Ditto ever... I mean, Ditto's probably going to make it to another game, but when they do get added to another game, they better show up as themselves in the wild, not as different Pokemon, because oh my god, I hate them. Let's Go did it right. Sword and Shield did it right. That was before Overworld Shinies. But for some reason, Scarlet and Violet couldn't get it done. Hopefully Game Freak realizes that and doesn't do it. Ugh. But I kind of get why they did it like that. Just to like promote the use of auto battle. But it was still annoying. I still don't know how people managed to get shiny Ditto so quickly. I did so many sandwiches to try and get shiny Ditto. It never showed. I got maybe 1 or 2 shiny Meow. Tandemaus probably showed up, but I never saw it because it's an awful shiny. It should have been different. Like, if they're really going to decide on how shinies look these days, the least they could do is make them look decent. Like, Tandemaus, instead of just having its shirt and pants changed to a very slightly different colour. I mean, if that was really what they were going to go for, instead of changing it to a beige from light grey, I don't know, change it to brown or black? At least make it obvious. Like, even if it is a bad shiny, at the very least it's got to be noticeable from such a small Pokemon. If Tandemaus was huge, it'd be noticeable. But it's so unbelievably small. So I'm probably going to use the Paradise Barons to try and isolate Tandemaus and try and hunt down as many as I possibly can. I'll probably have to do it on this monitor as well. So I've got to up the saturation a lot just to make the blue way more obvious. That was a little strategy I saw. Like someone who was trying to shiny hunt everything. So I might use that strategy for in my case. And I'll do it a similar way to how I did Dunsparce. So I'll just catch as many as I can within a single sandwich and then evolve them all. And then if I don't get the family of 3, I just reset over them. Yeah, I'm a monster, I don't save over all my shinies. If that was the case, I would have been slowed down so much because I'd have no Herba Mystica. But I'm thinking with the Herba Mystica I have, what did I just run into? With the Herba Mystica I have, it might just barely be enough to get everything I need. But then after that, I'll have no reason to do any more shiny hunting in this game, because I will literally have every single Pokemon. I mean, sure, I could go for the living stuff. Like, just, but I would only do that for Paldea, and I'd probably just do it through eggs. So yeah, if I was to do a living shiny dex, which, who would do that? I mean, some people probably dedicate a lot of time to it, I could not. But if I was to do it, and do it for Paldeamon specifically, I would just do Masuna Method. But every single one of them. Doesn't matter which Pokemon it is. Because I would not want to use the sandwich method anymore. And since I'd already have all the final forms, which I do, Gimmighoul, I've got both forms. Well, by that I mean both of the family stages, not both of Gimmighoul forms, because I don't have a roaming Gimmighoul as a shiny, because I deleted Pokemon Go off my phone. I don't play Pokemon Go anymore. Yeah, TCG Pocket just replaced Pokemon Go as my main mobile Pokemon game. I mean, Pokemon Champions might do at some point. There's another batch of Rockruff done. Right, let's see how many go. Wait, is that it? No, that's not. No! Seriously? I'm on to the last box already? Okay. That was almost 180 eggs. And I'm almost done hatching all of them. Damn. I'm pretty sure I hatched like 12 eggs before I got the massive batch anyway, so... That's 186 eggs in total, I think. Damn. I think the next game where egg hunting is possible, I think it needs to be... it needs to... I can't speak. I think there needs to be a dedicated building, like a Pokemon nursery, for egg hatching. The way Sword and Shield did it. Because I hope the next mainline game brings that back. Because that made Masuda method hunting streamlined. As soon as you hatch an egg, just instantly grab a new egg. Just keep going and going. Just keep adding new eggs to your party. And just swapping out all the older Pokemon. And because Pokemon Home, you could just do a mass release, get rid of all the rejects. So hopefully egg hatching is made more simplified by just giving us a nursery to get the eggs from. Because Scarlet and Violet's method, having them exclusively be from picnics. Oh, no butter. Oh. Hello? I said hello when you posted the GIF, but hello again. Hello. There's no latency issues. No, still green connection. Nope. Still a rocky boy. One more than I... So yeah, what I've been trying to do this entire stream, I've just been trying to hatch Rockruff eggs to be able to get shiny Dusklight. Internet is making a mess. I mean, fair enough. Trust me, I understand having bad internet. My Wi-Fi is awful. Yeah. Bad Wi-Fi is a constant because we've got a bad service provider. Hopefully we can get switched out soon, because I don't want to have struggling internet. Yeah, so, hopefully, I'm hoping before Legends EA comes out, I can complete this challenge I'm giving myself. So, what I've been doing, like, for the past few months... let me show you. So I've been trying to collect every single final form shiny available within Scarlet and Violet. So you'll switch to another game after this. Yeah, once I've completed this shiny challenge, I'm going to do the same thing in Legends EA. But yeah, how I've been doing this now, I've been trying to get all the final forms. Just specifically the final forms, because if it was a living shiny dex, this would have taken forever. So I'm focusing specifically on the final forms, and then in some cases, the alternate forms. So like Gastrodon, for example, has the East Sea and the West Sea forms, like the pink and blue ones. And then Rotom has 5 different appliance forms, and they're all boxable, so I'd say they count. Then I'm not going to worry about Vivian, because it's an inconsistent hunt, and I don't want to install Pokemon Go again just to do all that. Male Pyroar, because it looks different. Female Meowstic, also because it looks different. Not just a really subtle gender difference, it's like a whole completely different model. Yeah, I've included like all regional variants that are obtainable as well. So like Hisuian forms, like that's a big example. Mainly the Hisuian forms, like occasionally a Galarian form, but that's mostly like been the Galarian forms mostly Wheezing and eventually Berserker because that's obtainable in this game. Then all the Oricorio and all the Lycanroc. What else was? Oh yeah, I'm not going for the antique forms of Poltegeist or Sinister. That's just nah. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I could do that if I get their outbreaks, but again, I don't want to do that. I'd rather not. Alchemy, similar situation to Vivian. I'm not gonna get every single pattern because that's 64 different forms, and that would just take too long. I'd never complete this challenge if I went for every single individual form. So plans for thank you. And then the two different Basque legions, because male and female ones have different appearances. And all four of the Squawkabilly plumages, family of 3 Mousehold. I've already done both of the Oinkologne here. Yeah, I've done all the Tatsugiri forms, because originally I was only going to do one Tatsugiri, but then, obviously, the planet evolved when there was a mass outbreak event that gave all of the Tatsugiri forms promoted outbreaks. I think this was when there was the 7-star Dondozo event. I think that's when it happened. So yeah, I got all 3 of the Tatsugiri forms. And then recently, you can see I've got 2 Dunsparce here. Here's the first one. I got this during the Switch 1 era. And then here's the second one. The first shiny I got after moving to Switch 2. It was the first evolution of a Dunsparce I did. It was instantly a 3-segment Dunsparce. That's what kickstarted me to try and finish this challenge. And I've gotten so much done in just the past couple of months. And then over here, yep, all the Paradox Pokemon. And then Gholdengo, which was a raid promoted event. I still feel like it should not have been a raid exclusive or event exclusive or anything. It should have just been obtainable in the wild. Like, the way Shiny Gholdengo is, it's an awful shiny. They could have made it completely silver. Like, why didn't they just do that? They could have made it completely silver, make it so exclusive, and then the shiny's basically no different from how it used to look. Then, Treasures of Ruin, with that event going on right now. Then the other paradoxes, and then the 3 new Pokemon that came from the DLCs. Obviously excluding all the legendaries because they're not available yet. Rhydon, Miraidon, Terrapagos, Pecharunt, the Lousy 3, Ogerpon. All of those would be included in this. Oh, and the legendary Paradox Pokemon. So, Iron Leaves, Iron Crown, Iron Boulder, Walking Wake, Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire. Those 6 would be included as well. When Game Freak decides they actually want to let people hunt them. And it probably won't even be a hunt, it'll probably just be a distribution. Which would suck. But yeah, for now I'm just going to focus on the Alola Pokemon. Then I'll focus on Galar / Kitsui, so Generation 8. Then once that's done, I'll get all those alternate forms. Which shouldn't take too long. Then once the alternate forms are done, Ditto will be the last Pokemon in this challenge. Because it is the worst shiny to hunt for in this entire game, in my opinion. Sure, Zorua has a similar problem, but at least that one can be hunted through eggs. Ditto does not have that luxury. Because the way you encounter them in the wild, they're always disguised as a different Pokemon. So you wouldn't even be able to tell it's a Ditto you're even looking at. And it wouldn't be as bad if it took on a shiny appearance when it transformed. But no, it doesn't even show up as a shiny, so you have to run it into the Pokemon just to see if it's shiny, or trying to auto-battle it. But it's so time-consuming and so stressful, I'm saving it for the very last hunt of this challenge. Because at least with all the other ones, I can use outbreaks, sandwiches, or eggs, as I'm doing now. But Ditto, I can only do it through the wild, which sucks. I'll probably do it through an outbreak, since I can forcefully make it so Ditto shows up more frequently, and has a higher shiny rate. But I'll have to try and make sure I can get it before the time switch is over. Because I've not seen a single Ditto outbreak, ever. And I've played this game since day one. I've never seen a Ditto outbreak before. And the amount of, date skips I've done, I'm surprised I haven't seen one yet. But yeah, it's going to be the last hunt of this challenge, and hopefully I'll never have to see a shiny Ditto ever again, unless I replay through Let's Go and get shiny Ditto there. But at least that one you can actually tell. It also really makes me hope Legend ZA brings back the shiny sparkles and the sound effects to come with it. Oh, that made shiny hunting so much more tolerable in Legends Arceus. Like, if you just... Well, not really shiny hunting, more like just shiny encountering. Because the amount of shinies we could miss if we didn't have those sparkles, and then Scarlet and Violet just completely removes them for no real reason. The amount of shinies people have missed because those sparkles weren't there. Especially with the tiny Pokemon that have basically no visual appearances, like Tandemons. You can't tell it's shiny. Like, at all. You have to look super closely or have, like, different saturation settings up. Or hatch it from eggs, because then it will sparkle. But they could have done it how Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did it, have a constant special shiny sparkle. They could have done a combination of Legends Arceus and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Have the shiny sparkle sound effect, have it visually sparkle, and then have the shiny particle effects surrounding the Pokemon when it's shiny. That could make shiny hunting so much more tolerable in this game. Yeah, look, those sparkle effects that were just there from hatching the egg, those could be used. Like, they don't even have to change anything. Like, just change the coding slightly to have that particle effect surround a shiny in the wild. That's all they would have to do. Really hope Legend ZA does sort that out. But yeah, I think with Legend ZA, not only am I going to have my full team probably predicted before the game launches, I'm probably going to do a full shiny team for my first ever playthrough. Because why the heck not? I could even go as far as to never catch a normal Pokemon. Like, unless there's a way to get the shiny. I think the first starter will be the only one I won't catch as a shiny, because you know what they're going to do. They're going to shiny up the starters. We're not going to be able to shiny hunt them from the start. We're going to have to do some elaborate methods to try and encounter them. Like, maybe they'll have their own outbreaks. We'll have to receive them as gifts before we can get their outbreaks. If that's the case, then the new ZA starters will probably be the only Pokemon that I get as non-shinies. Probably the legendaries as well, because they're probably going to shiny lock every single legendary, which would be just illegal at this point, because why? Why? They have to keep shiny locking everything. Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde. There's no reason to shiny lock any of them. They'll probably include Mewtwo as well. Maybe if we're pushing it, the Kanto Birds? Because they were in original X and Y. but I'm guessing they probably won't show up because they don't have a reason to show up. But it's possible. Then again, the only way they were encounterable, not even close to Lumios, they were more like Northern Kalos. So yeah, the counter legendaries, I mean, they could appear. Especially Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo should be the only non-Kalos legendary to show up. Just because it has the status of being the first legendary to get a Mega Evolution. I mean, technically you got two. Yeah. I think besides starters and legendaries, I think I might go the extra effort for Legends ZA and just shiny hunt my whole team. And shiny hunt any Pokemon, well, unless it's a Pokemon I need to give away, then I'll get them as a non-shiny. But I'm going to use this as an excuse to try and get every single shiny in the game. I mean, okay, now that I think about it, maybe I might be being too ambitious because I would be doing all this without the shiny charm. So I think any Pokemon that I will use on my team, I'll just have them all as shiny. But then I think I will still have to try and complete a living dex, just to send them all into Pokemon Home, just to get that dex completed. And then hopefully home compatibility will be day one, so I can just send them all in straight away. And then I can focus on the shiny hunting once I can send in my living dex. And I'm going to assume it is going to be possible to get all the mythical Pokemon. So Hoopa, Diancie, and Volcanion. Like the way Legends Arceus did it, would have some form of compatibility with other games. So I think it was Sword and Shield and BDSP. I think those two games need to have shared save data. Then you could get Cresselia, no, not Cresselia, Darkrai and Sheenan. So, yeah, Manaphy was, Manaphy and Fione were just in the game to begin with. So I feel like Legends EA could do a similar thing. Just have connected save files, and then it would basically spawn the side quests to get the mythicals. Yeah, I feel like that's how it should work. Hoopa, Diancie, and Volcanion. And knowing our luck, every single one of them is probably going to be shiny luck, because we're not allowed to have fun. But then it'll make me question, what will the distribution of it be? Like, completing the home Pokedex for ZA? What would it even be? I don't know what it could be. Honestly, I don't know what it could be. I think it could be either Hoopa or Volcanion. Maybe Diancie. I think it would just be one of the mythical Pokemon, because those are the only ones that make sense. Diancie's slightly less likely because there was one distribution event for it, but only one. Was that it? Was that all the Rockruff? That was it? Damn, we got through all those quickly. So that was over 180 Rockruff eggs hatched within about 2 hours. Yep. So there's all the Pokemon I'm using. That Swampurt's not going to be bred. That's just a very special Swampert for me. It has the Destiny mark, and it's a shiny. Because Swampert is my favourite Pokemon of all time. So, yeah, so this Rockruff will be bred, the Basculin will be bred, Pincurchin because the Outbreak spawns are awful, Berserker because that's the only way it can be bred, Minior because its wild encounter is annoying. Alright. It's not quite been 2 hours yet, but basically there. Alright. I'm gonna call it a day then. So tomorrow, no idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow, but I'll see what I'll do. Maybe I'll see if get hold of Celestic, see if he wants to do a session or something. But yeah, oh, I don't know. For now, this has been BiriboFukuro signing off. Bye bye.